Pulling is actually a series of skirmishes, green versus red versus blue, sometimes alcohol versus diesel. There are two-wheel drive trucks, four-wheel drive trucks. They're all Battle of the Bluegrass trucks.
What is pulling? It's the only motorsport measured in inches. Pulling involves tractors and trucks hitched to a special sled with a moving weight box. The goal is to haul the sled as far as possible before the shifting weight pulls it to a stop. The longest pull wins.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Miles Arena at the Daviess County Fairgrounds in Owensboro, Kentucky. Hello again, everyone. I'm Ted Jones, and this is the Liquid Tube Summer Nationals, part of the House Loop Battle of the Bluegrass Series, showcasing a wide variety of technology. We're running 4 classes today, starting with the 10,000-pound hot farm tractors. Now, our first puller actually turned the pull down. There's a reason for that. Joining me in the booth now, our expert analyst, Tom McConnell. Tom, why did they turn down a pull?
Well, they turned down a pull. The first puller has the option only to turn it down because they don't know how the sled and the track is going to act. They don't have anybody else to look at. Allen decided, hey, I can do better. I'm turning it down, so he'll drop to the end of the class. We'll take a look now at Sean Knopp, a former Howes Loop champion in this category. This guy is dead serious. We've got a robot doing the flagging. Get out of the way. Sean's on the line. The Ford launching good. The Ford fans love this guy. He has won Owensboro before, Ted.
You see him hit the brake and correct. He was ready to go out of bounds. That kept him in it. Wow, 308.35 feet. Take one more look at it as he leaves. You'll see when he hits the brake and corrects, Brett Kepner's on top end.
I just hooked out of the hole on me to the right. I didn't correct it quick enough.
Next puller is Todd Harrell. He has a Ford 9000 from Bethlehem, Kentucky.
Yeah, Todd's been working on this tractor the last couple of years, starting to get it dialed in. It's not the prettiest ride, but pretty doesn't drag that sled. It's only horsepower, and tonight, it's not enough horsepower. 246.46 will not get the job done.
Looks like something actually went wrong with that. He shut down early. Okay, here comes Gavin Durchutz on his John Deere. Things are getting green.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you what, this guy lives an interesting life. On his farm houses 80,000 turkeys. He is a turkey farmer, and when he's not playing with those gobblers, he's out pulling the John Deere. 282 won't get the job done, but a good run for that Deere.
Laramie Thomas, he says, touch too much out of Scottsburg, Indiana.
Well, this is actually a friend of his, Kevin Boggs, an engine builder in this class. He's doing the driving for Kevin tonight. Kevin won a pull earlier this year in Danville, Kentucky, but Laramie Thomas, well, he drove it like he stole it. He may have just broke it.
You can tell something went wrong. He doesn't know what.
Something in the throttle linkage broke.
Well, if it's just the throttle linkage, at least you didn't cost him any money.
No, that's not too much. It's just a couple pieces of metal.
Next up, Levi Thomas out of Scottsburg, Indiana. He calls this, very appropriately, wives competition.
Well, his brother Laramie just pulled, so Levi doing the driving here, defending Howes Loop champion. They picked up a big sponsor from Liquid Tube this year. They're a dealer for that tremendous company, and right now, though, they're focused on winning the pull. Ted, they just took over the lead.
They did indeed. 311.27 feet. Look one more time as he comes at you right into your living room.
It's getting late in the season. You got to start making a move.
Yes, sir. We're just trying to be consistent and stay right at the top.
Here's the hometown favorite right here out of Owensboro, Kentucky. Pop's binder, Tyler Sandifer up.
This tractor is won in Owensboro when his dad drove it. Barry Sandifer. Let's see if the son can do it. Making a real smooth run. Going after the Thomas boys. Close, but no cigar. 309 won't get it done.
Wow, nice job. He had that front end in the air, carrying it all the way through. Alan Powell, who turned down the first pull, will go again with the Case of Chaos.
Well, let's see if he made the right choice turning it down. He's making a good pass. That Case up in the air, looking good. Can he hold on for the win?
No, not going to happen today, but close. 305.82.
And Allen's daughter looks on. He's not going to get it done.
Here's the way they finished up with Levi Thomas taking the win at 311 feet. This coverage of the Liquid Tube Summer Nationals is being brought to you by Howe's Lubricator, professional grade performance since 1920. And by Bubba Burger, you'll never bite a burger better than a Bubba. And by Liquid Tube, the original liquid inner tube. From the Davies County Fairgrounds in Owensboro, Kentucky, you're watching the Howe's Lube Battle of the Bluegrass. With more on Howe's Lube, Brett Kepner.
Just about everybody knows that Howe's Lubricator is indeed the official sponsoring product of the Battle of the Bluegrass Pulling Series. But a lot of people don't realize just how long this amazing product has been around.
Since 1920, it was developed by Wendell Vincent Howes. And the story is he dismantled a Model T Ford, and there were too many heavy greases to put it back together, so he developed a light lubricating oil, and that's what started the whole industry for us.
What are the different uses that you've found and didn't know about before?
Different uses come with this original product here. It's our penetrating and lubricating oil, and I find it works well on guns, it works well on fishing equipment. It even takes road tar off of paint on a vehicle without harming it.
This standard industrial light generator has been sitting for 1 year. Honest, really, it's only used for this pull once a year. What's going to happen?
Well, one of the aspects of meaner power cleaner, aside from the fact that it lubricates, cleans injectors, and improves fuel economy, it also stabilizes a diesel fuel. So if you're storing equipment like a generator, tractor, or a boat, it'll keep that fuel fresh and have it start up and run fresh the next time you use it.
Very interesting information indeed. Outlaw Superstock Tractors. Let's get going with John Dempsey.
Well, John Dempsey, he's all smiles. He just picked up his first Howe's Lube victory in Independence, Kentucky a couple of weeks ago. Gonna try to do it here tonight in Owensboro. He is laying down a heck of a run, 299.41. Let's see what the troublemaker does.
Well, as we look at it with our Howe's Lube Instant Replay, he went fairly straight, but he's weaving back and forth just a little bit.
Well, if you took it, you must feel that the track's not going to get any better.
No, the track's pretty tight. No tractor run out good, and we're pleased with it.
Now remember, he was the first puller in the Outlaw Superstock category, so he could have turned it down. Wicked Whitetail, Jeremy Roberts out of Sullivan, Tennessee.
Let's take a ride on the John Deere. Now the first tractor had 2 turbochargers, weighing in at 8,500 pounds. Jeremy driving a Super Farm, 640 cubic inch, 1 3-inch charger, weighing in at 9,300. The Wicked Whitetail takes over the lead. The John Deere fans are happy with that one.
311.52. Next up will be Lauren Glass from Warsaw, Kentucky. He calls it Logan's Run.
Lauren doing the driving for Jeff Tackett, having some issues that won't let him in the seat right now. He's letting Lauren do it, and Lauren making him proud there. Wow, 318.35. He takes over the lead. Let's check that out with the Howe's Lubricator Instant Replay. Look at that, Ted.
Brett Kepner is there on top end.
You don't think it's going to hold?
I don't know.
Was there any part of the track that you thought wasn't as good as you expected?
No, it was a good track. It was a really good track. It just, I don't think I drove properly.
Didn't do too bad a job. Minneapolis Moline, the propane.
Ted, this guy comes down all the way from Illinois. It's a Minneapolis Moline with a 3-inch charger, 640 cubic inch, but guess what? It's running on propane. It came out of the factory with propane. It's legal to run it here. Always puts on a show. Look at the afterburner on that thing. Wow, 308 and change. Gonna put him in the number 2 spot. Let's check out that mini mow again, Ted.
Wow, he was up in the air. Look at the twin weights on the front.
I hooked up good. I wish I would have been down another 6% on my gear, but it's taking a little more power than I thought, but it's a good track.
One more puller. Things are getting green again. The Brothers Keeper out of Nicholasville, Kentucky. Ladies and gentlemen, this is John Morris.
Well, John Morris has his work cut out for him, but one thing about the Morris boys, they know this track. They have won here 4 times. Can the big 60-30 John Deere get it done? They got to beat 318. No, it's going to be a red one tonight.
Way short at 295 feet. Our congratulations to Logan's Run. Now, Brett Kepner has more on the class coming up after the break.
The 5,800-pound two-wheel drive superstock truck category is one of the most competitive in the Battle of the Bluegrass series, and the Moonshine Mini C-Series Chevy pickup of Jim Harden has already kicked some major butt across the central part of the country. What's the toughest part about running a 600-plus cubic inch engine with just one carburetor on little tires like this?
You just got to learn your truck and drive it, and there's some tracks you can use all the power on, and there's some that you just got to drive it and do the best you can with.
Now, I need to ask about the involvement with PBM, which is certainly a big part of this, but a lot of people don't realize how closely related it is to this particular class.
That's right. PBM has been supplying engine builders across the United States with complete engine packages, blocks, cylinder heads, rotating assemblies for 25 years. And now that we've acquired Urson camshafts and World Products, we're getting into the manufacturing part of the process as well.
And PBM is getting their information directly from championship-winning drivers like Jim and James Harden, so you know the stuff's good.
Back in Owensboro, Kentucky at the Howes Loop Battle of the Bluegrass, our next category is super stock two-wheel drive trucks. The truck you're looking at right now is Kevin Wilson's, Tom McConnell.
Kevin Wilson has won this event in Owensboro, at least the Saturday night session, him and his wife the last 4 years. The last 4 years on Friday night, it's been Harden, James Harden particularly. Going to see what he can do here tonight. He's out of Cox's Creek, Kentucky. He calls it the cheating situation, an aptly named pulling truck. That Chevy is screaming, Ted.
Yes, and he's kept the front end on the ground. You don't see that. Two-wheel drives tend to lift that front end up in the air. 309.39. Well, I'll bet he keeps that, Tom.
I'll tell you what, I think that's going to be a hard run to beat. Look, it's pretty straight. Going off just a little bit, but not too much. Doesn't have to lay into it. Great run.
You and your dad managed to keep these things together all year long. You guys don't ever break anything.
I hope the hell we don't either.
Next puller will be Michael White. He calls it Mislick.
Oh yeah, Michael White, tough competitor out of the volunteer state. It's actually a pro stock truck, 485 cubic inch. Doesn't have the low end torque, but listen to those RPMs. Shuts him down right there. Good run, though, especially for a small motor. Let's check that out on the Howes Lube instant replay. Right there, Ted. Had to back off the throttle to point the front end. They don't have the brakes to guide them like tractors.
I could have come out of the hole a little bit better. I spun the tires a little bit too much in the hole. I could have rode the clutch just a little bit more, but we're happy.
Here's the guy you saw at the beginning of the segment, Nancy Wilson's husband, Kevin.
Kevin wants to win here bad. They have been a dominating force on the Saturday night shows here in Owensboro, laying down a really good run, Ted. That Ford going after the Chevys. He's got to beat 309.
Oh, so close, 307.47. Can't get much closer than that. Let's take one more look at it. You're on board with the Howes Loop instant replay, screaming down the track, high RPMs, just 2 feet short. Let's go to Brett Kepner on top end.
Well, Oakley Motorsports builds a hell of a motor. He's got too much horsepower for these tracks.
Saying he's smoking the tires is what he's saying now. I got a feeling James Harden would disagree. Hey, here's a classic, the 51 Special. This is Brandon Waston out of Gravel Switch, Kentucky. He won his first Howes Lube victory last year in E-Town, Kentucky. Not going to pick up a second one tonight, but a good run. Everybody loves it, 298 and chain.
But I bet everybody loves that truck. Beautiful 51 Chevy as we take a look at our next puller. This is Jason Patton.
Patton laying down a strong run, but I'll tell you what, Harden has really shook a lot of heads up here. Patton Not going to get the job done. 297, no cigar today.
Almost went out of bounds. Three Shades of Black is up next. Look at him spinning, coming off the line right there. Look at those rear tires with those rooster tails.
It's so important in this class to lock the horsepower down. You can definitely overpower the track sometimes. Mike Chesser, great run, but he too will come up short. They're all stacked in there close.
Yeah, a lot of them running over 300 feet as we take a look right now at a beautiful 1978 Chevy. You know, you can have older model trucks in this.
Oh yeah, it's a classic class. You got old trucks, you got new trucks, you got big motors, you got some small motors. The boy out of Indiana trying to run with the big blocks in Kentucky, but not gonna happen tonight.
Way short at 274 feet, so Jim Harden and the Moonshine Mini will take a shot at it.
All right, he is trying to beat his son. James is in the lead at 309.39. Can the Moonshine Mini get it done? Not gonna happen. 302 will not get it done.
He needs a new hood latch on that. Here comes the lady. She would like to bump this off. Nancy Wilson, ladies and gentlemen, defending champion.
Coming out easy. Can she get the power hooked in with that big 600 cubic inch Ford, Ted? She has got a lot of ground speed. That Ford is humming. She's got to beat 309. She does it. 310 Ford. Ladies in the lead.
Looking at it again, notice the wheels up, and she carried him all the way through.
Even this late with everybody trying left, right, center, everything else, it worked.
It worked. My husband, he had a magic touch. Let's just hope it holds up for this last one.
But it's not over yet. Here comes another beautiful Ford. This is called Scrappy.
Two-time winner on the House Loop Series, but this year, Ted, we've seen this guy second so many times. It's driving him insane. He wants to win it. Ford fans want to try to make it 1 and 2. Good run. Is he going to have the power on the far end to get it done? The lady's going to do it tonight. Scrappy comes up short.
Let's take a look at how they finished right here. Nancy Wilson picks up another victory, barely by 1 foot over James Harden. We'll be back with more after this. This coverage from Owensboro, Kentucky is brought to you by Howe's Lubricator, professional grade performance since 1920. And by Rising Star Casino, official hotel and resort of the Battle of the Bluegrass Series. And by Liquid Tube, the original liquid inner tube. With a capacity crowd looking on, our next class is Pro Street Diesel 2.6. Here's Brett Kepner.
You're looking at 359 cubic inches of turbocharged inline 6-cylinder Dodge diesel in a Dodge Ram pickup truck that right now is leading the 2.6 turbocharged work truck category by more points than any other driver is leading any other category in the Battle of the Bluegrass World Championship Series. So you're restricted to a 2.6-inch inlet single turbocharger, but that really isn't that much of a problem anymore because the turbo science on these Dodges is so incredible.
Right, drive-line's the biggest problem anymore.
As far as weakness?
Yes.
Which part? Drive shaft, rear ends?
Rear ends.
Obviously, everybody wants to know, in a sea of turbocharged Dodge trucks in this class, what makes yours different?
Chassis. Yeah, you can have all the horsepower in the world, but if you can't get it to hook, you're still not going anywhere.
But people want to know what about the chassis?
That's how it works.
Just stuff.
Yeah.
Just stuff you came up with.
Yeah.
Nobody has been able to touch this man this year.
Well, maybe this guy can do it. Matt Cottrell from Finchville, Kentucky. He calls his truck Cantankerous.
Well, he usually runs in the work stock category, but he has got this truck dialed in so good. He's jumping up here with the Pro Street Boys. Let's see if he can get it done. Laying down an awesome run. Oh, did you hear the guts just scream out of that Cummins there at the end? Cantankerous goes 287.52. He's keeping that pull, so next we'll go on with another guy that runs in the work stock usually. This is Dylan Ditweiler out of Eminence, Kentucky. He calls it its aptly named Mama's Complaint.
Good straight run right there. Didn't have to correct much. Look at that stream of black diesel smoke pour out. Is it enough? Takes the lead, a new leader, 299.63 feet.
Well, now we'll see what Brandon Reisert can do. He's out of Floyd Knobs, Indiana. He calls it scrap money, making about 1,500 horsepower. You see the big flume of diesel smoke coming out of the hood. He is flying with that truck, Ted.
Cummins diesel for power in these Dodges, very popular. 296 feet, just a little short. Dillon will remain the leader.
Well, now Adam Chrome's coming up. Lives just down the road in Evansville, Indiana. Let's see if Adam can get it locked in. Oh, throwing the dirt like you're talking about, Ted.
Kind of a plain white truck, but he's hooked up and moving good. And no, can't get it done. 289.98 feet. Now, here comes the man.
Well, Clint Corwin coming up next, the 3C diesel machine. He is the last one in the class. He's got to beat 299. Let's see if he can get it done. He is screaming that ride, going over on the right-hand side of the track. Let's see where he ends up with it.
Remember, Brett Kepner said nobody's been able to touch this man, and they still can't.
309 gets it done. Clint Corwin wins another one, Ted.
Boy, I don't know if anybody can stop him. Dylan Detweiler was close, but about 10 feet short. Special awards, the Rising Star Casino Best Appearing Award to Larrabee Thomas and the Wives Competition. And our PBM Best Engineer Award went to Brandon Reisert and the Scrap Money Dodge. And the Truckadons.com Hot Run of the Day, Lauren Glass in Logan's Run. That'll be a wrap, ladies and gentlemen, for this edition coming to you from Owensboro, Kentucky. I'm Ted Jones. For Tom McConnell and Brett Kepner, so long, everyone.